Hello and welcome, fellow awesomologists, to Awesomology. I'm Sue.
And I'm Ben, and in this episode, we're coming to you live from the Wisconsin Credit Union League's 2023 Marketing and Public Relations Workshop. Yeah.
That's real people in a real audience.
Real people, promise. So we're here talking to our new friends from Wisconsin's credit unions about humanizing their brand, and we also have a special guest with us, which we'll get to in just a minute. So excited. Thanks, everyone, for being here.
If you are a regular listener, you've heard us talk about humanizing our brand before, and maybe you've checked out our blog post, shameless plug for the blog, !cuso.com/blog. And our live audience here today, one more clap. It's like a drug now. I can't stop. They have all just heard about every word we could think of on the topic. So let's use this time to answer questions, talk strategy. They're all going to bring some questions to the fore for us. But first, if you're ready, Ben.
I'm ready.
It's time for a brand quiz. Ben and Denise, let's introduce Denise first.
Let's
You want to introduce Denise, and then we'll do our brand quiz. Sure.
So we are so happy to have the speaker who opened the day with us today, Denise Wymore. This audience is so good at applause. Oh my gosh. And she's from G.S.D, but Denise, I'll let you introduce yourself.
All right. Credit union lifers, started my job as a teller. Woohoo! One for the tellers. And I love marketing. I love all things marketing. Written a couple books about it and talked about that today. Love tattoos and all things, fun.
Yeah. Name of the book?
Tattoos, the ultimate proof of a successful brand, available on Amazon.com.
Nice. Well done. We're so good at the shameless plug today. I love it. Awesome. Okay, we're ready.
Okay. So I'm going to take this up so I can hear myself. What you all don't know is that we prepared to do this workshop last year, and I created this quiz last year, and Ben has been waiting 13 months to know what this quiz is. He has no idea. So fun. And it's just been sitting in our network drive, and he has no idea. So it's fun. So we have 6 questions, 6 branding questions, true or false. And I'm going to give you, Ben and Denise are going to take turns. Okay?
Okay.
So here we go. You ready?
If I don't know, can I pass to him?
I haven't made
It's
up
like
rules,
a game show?
Yeah.
No?
so you can do whatever you want.
Okay, cool.
You can
Nice.
just don't
I like it.
walk away.
Okay.
That's all I'm asking. Okay. Who wants to go for ladies first?
Okay.
Obviously, ladies first. True or false?
True.
The iconic spokesperson, Betty Crocker, was the wife of a director of the Washburn Crosby Company. They were the millers of gold medal flour and the predecessor of General Mills. Is that true or false?
That sounds so true.
You've been tricked by copywriting.
Have I?
Yeah, but that is false.
Gosh, and you said it with such
I
confidence.
know, right?
Yeah.
Betty was not a single person. The name was created as a way to personalize responses to questions, and if you guessed that name has a meaning behind it, you're right. Crocker was chosen in honor of a popular company director, so it was his last name. And they chose Betty because it sounded like a friendly name.
In the 50s.
And it
In the
is.
50s.
Yeah, it was perfect.
So friendly.
Such a Betty.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben, you ready?
Pressure's on.
In March of 2018, Wendy's took its penchant for internet beef into the world of music, releasing a hip-hop mixtape called appropriately We Beefin'? Okay. So funny to me. The 5-track album debuted on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play. True or false?
So I'm a super fan of their Twitter or X account, whatever it's called now. So it really makes me want to say true, but it almost seems too cool to be true. So I'm going to say false. It's true?
It's true. It included songs like Twitter Fingers, Holding It Down, Rest in Grease, Clownin', and 4 for $4. It captured and elevated the fast food chain's beloved sense of humor and did so in a way that was perhaps surprisingly actually good in musical terms.
I believe it. Wow.
Thrillist even said you could probably put a mixtape on, your friends wouldn't even notice it was a marketing stunt and not a standard hip-hop album.
Look at that.
Look at that.
And I just got Clownin', a burn track against. Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
Clownin'. Everybody get it, Clownin'.
Love it.
Yep. Okay.
And let me just say, I refuse to call Twitter X.
I know.
The fact that they killed Larry Bird. How can you do that?
What's the bird's name?
His name was Larry Bird.
They killed Larry?
Yes, he's gone.
Oh, not the real Larry Bird.
Well, no, but Larry Bird,
Might
the
as well.
Twitter
It's
bird.
just a moment.
I know. So Twitter is my ex. You know what I'm saying?
And it was a bad breakup.
It's a
right?
bad breakup.
Okay. Okay, Denise. In a commercial from 1961 featuring the Flintstones, Fred and Barney are shown sneaking away to enjoy a smoke break with a fresh pack of Winston cigarettes.
Oh.
True or false?
Oh. Okay, I was born in 1962, so I wasn't around to see this commercial. Let me just make it clear.
We just want to make sure you know.
I'm thinking they're smokers because they were in construction. So I'm going to go with true.
I like that.
Yeah.
That is, yes, it is true. Very early in the show's original, yes. In the show's original 6-year run of commercial shows, Fred, Barney, Wilma, and Betty outside doing household chores. Fred and Barney decide to sneak around the backyard and take a smoke break away from Wilma and Betty. Well, the women are hard at work. They remark they hate seeing their wives work so hard.
Wow.
Wow.
So to fix the problem, they go and take a smoke break.
I miss the 60s, right?
As the only guy in this room, I will not make any comments.
Thank you.
Ben is not endorsing that behavior. Ladies. Okay. You ready?
Ready?
Here we go, Ben. In 1965, an interviewer asked now legendary Bob Dylan, folk singer Bob Dylan, what it would take for him to sell out. And his reply was, ladies' undergarments. True to his word, despite being arguably one of the most famous American singer-songwriters ever, Bob Dylan has never lent his likeness or his music to a commercial. True or false?
I'm going to say true because I can't think of one.
It is false. You can see Bob Dylan looking very on brand and still somehow appearing in a 2004 Victoria's Secret commercial featuring his song Lovesick. Look it up.
All right.
It is like,
Wow.
it's trippy, is what it is.
It's just not right.
Okay, Denise, here's one from after you were born.
Okay, thank you.
One 1998 Super Bowl ad featured gerbils being shot out of a cannon at a wall with the company's logo on it. True or false?
1998?
1998.
I'm going to say PETA's all over that. Oh my gosh. Right. I mean, no, it can't
You say
be.
false?
I say false.
Well, you are both right and wrong. PETA was all over it.
Okay.
But it is true. The now-defunct online retail Outpost.com, and see this commercial if you have not. It is hilarious. Featured an announcer explaining that they want you to remember their name. And that's why they were going to fire gerbils out of a cannon into the O in Outpost. And interestingly, a quick Google told me, you can find it on both the best of and the worst of Super Bowl ad lists that you can find on
So
YouTube.
were any gerbils harmed in the making of that
they weren't real
commercials?
gerbils.
Okay. Oh,
They
okay.
were not real gerbils.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because PETA was very upset.
So am I.
So are you. Fair.
Okay.
Okay, Ben, final question. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, singer Sarah McLachlan said of the ASPCA commercial featuring her music, I'm not even really sure why they asked me to do that. It's a sad song. It seems to affect people, but I don't really like animals that much. I'm allergic to pet dander. True or false?
False. Gotta be false.
You smoked it out, man. You smoked it out. It's false. Set to her emotional 1997 ballad, Angel, featuring shots of sad-looking pets, long-running ads are, quote, brutal, the singer acknowledged. But it's for an important reason, so that the viewers, quote, bring their wallets out.
Worked on me.
Yeah,
Worked on
that's
you.
right. Wallets and tears for the
Yeah,
record.
It's true.
I know.
It's
Goodness
true.
gracious. Every
And
time.
I think it was a tie. I didn't keep.
It was a
score.
tie.
It was a tie,
It's bad.
actually.
It's bad. I should.
1-1.
Should have kept score.
Yep.
Good
We
work on that brand quiz. All right. So let us switch gears. It is time to open up our microphone.
Yeah.
Questions. Any questions?
Questions
for
from the
anyone?
audience. For the record, we were the session after lunch and at the end of the day, so everyone's brains are mush right now.
Right.
So if anyone has the courage for a question,
So ask us
mad
personal
respect.
questions. Ask us anything at all. Ask me about my outfit so I can tell you it has pockets. whatever you want to do.
And I will say, there's 30 people that attended in a marketing, and it's not a women's event, but it is 100% attended by women, which is awesome. Because why? What do we say? Women are the best.
They are. Our team is 4 females and 2 males, and
nice.
We're better because of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah. And I'm not just sucking up to the group. That's real.
But a little.
Maybe a little.
Maybe a little.
Maybe a little. And remember, you can ask a question for Denise, too, if you can remember back to her presentation this morning.
Denise, you just want to redo your presentation?
Yeah, I'm going to start, if you don't mind. I'll just start from the beginning. No, but I will say, women like to get done, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at my LinkedIn profile, it says G.S.D. after it, and people think that's some kind of, designation, and very few people have had the courage to ask me what that is. It means get done. I awarded it to myself.
Nice.
If you're courageous enough to ask a question, you can have my socks.
We have more socks too. I should
tell them about the socks.
We are giving away. We have exclamation socks. They are beautiful rainbow colored socks. They are comfortable. You can give them as gifts. No one will know that you just got them for free.
Tie them in a knot, give them to your dog, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever works. I mean, worst case scenario.
You could,
but don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Hearing no questions, we will go to our pre-planned questions.
Nicely done.
Thank you. So, we talked a lot about humanizing our brand, and I think we can pivot this question a little bit so that we can include Denise, who was not but should have been with us when we were building our brand, just because we like her so much.
Right.
So my question for you, Ben, and then Denise, any input, any thoughts that you have on this is, what was your fondest memory of creating a brand?
Oof. Great. So a brand, or are you talking about when we were building the Simplicity brand? Or okay. So I mean, I think.
Are you cheating on our brand?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just checking.
So I think, and I mentioned this a bit in my portion of our session today. Had a section of it dedicated to lifting up the people on the team, and I feel like, I don't know, gosh, this feels like a cheesy answer, but everybody on the team played a role in it, and I think that was just really important to help and build a team, a new and fresh team, because when the Simplicity rebrand happened, we were pretty much a brand new team at that time. So it was an amazing kind of team bonding experience for us. And as the department that we're kind of, chief apostles for the brand and everything like that, to have the buy-in from everyone was just really important to that whole process, to help, lay the foundation of feeling ownership and making decisions for the brand and for the organization going forward. So I really am proud of, and definitely have some fond memories of how everybody got involved in the process along the way.
Well, you call it team bonding. Some people call it trauma bonding.
Yeah.
It is whatever.
Never heard that. That's good.
Awesome. Denise, what about you? Fond memories of building a brand?
Yeah, so I worked at Del Norte Credit Union at the time, and we did Net Promoter Score. How many of you do Net Promoter Score at credit unions? Yeah, really popular. And the number 2 reason that people were loyal to us was because we were a co-op. And a lot of people don't think that matters. And I was thrilled because I wow, number 1 is service, right? Number 2 is co-op. So get the marketing team together, and I'm we can't ignore this. This is really cool that they like that we're a co-op. So we knocked around some ideas, and I Googled, put in the Google machine, co-ops, Northern New Mexico, and several popped up. There was a preschool co-op, a beer co-op, grocery co-ops, electrical co-op. And so we were we got to keep a co-op. We came up with on the fly, we came up with this keep a co-op. We had a graphic designer. We had the luxury of a really good graphic designer. And I'll never forget, because we're in this basement room, and he's knocking out logos and keep a co-op. This is going to be so cool. We did the total opposite of what you should do in marketing planning, because we created this whole logo. We were so enamored with the name of the logo, and we had no plan. But what it turned out to be is we contacted all those co-ops and said, hey, you guys want to get together and, for coffee, and we can, kind of knock out some ideas. One meeting in Los Alamos over coffee, every single co-op signed on, and they are still together today, 11 years later.
Wow. And
they built the very first, I get all choked up, co-op park in Los Alamos. We raised $150,000.
Wow.
All together, all these co-ops working together to show the cooperative difference.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
That one.
That is great.
That has successfully shamed my answer, but I will tell you what and it was one of those things we talked in our presentation about these tiny choices, the little micro choices that we made. And the thing that came to my mind when I wrote this question on the page was very early on we decided that we wanted consistency in our social media, and we wanted, because when we took over the Simplicity brand and started working in marketing, the cadence, there was no cadence for social media. It was, we would have something to say, something would get posted, and then a week would go by, and then 3 things really rapidly, and then a month would go by. So we decided the first year that we're going to turn that into every day. We're going to post something every single day on social media. And then it turned into strategy of what can that be? It's not going to be ads every day. So what is it? And I remember the day that we decided that the weekend could be less serious. The rest of the week was not that serious, but the weekend was it was like fun time. It was like playtime. And I had an idea for social media posts. I was doing the social media stuff at that time, and I went to Ben, and I had a picture of a cat, and I had seen somewhere that cats can tell when you have had a hard week, right? So this is a Saturday post. This is going to be the fun way that we're going to have something on Saturday. And I said to him, I want to post this to say, cats can tell when you're stressed and have had a hard week, but they don't care. And is that okay? And he's like, yeah, that's funny. I don't know. I hope you still think it's funny, but I don't know why you wouldn't do it. There's nothing wrong with that. And the fact that we had a conversation, but it's credit unions, and you're sensitive about is somebody going to be like, oh, but my cat is so sweet and he would care if I had a bad week. No, he's a cat. He doesn't care. But that, to me, that told me, this is a watershed moment. This is the moment that we are taking control of this thing, that we are building something that's going to have a voice. And
it's going to get noticed.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
And not by PETA, because it was right. No cats were harmed.
Right.
Exactly.
Just mocked.
The picture is frankly just a picture.
You're letting the angry cat do what they do best, which is ignore your feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's a great story though, especially because we oh gosh, I just lost my train of thought.
You were telling me how good I was.
Yeah, because Sue, you're just so awesome. Yeah. No, but a lot of what we were talking about today is some of the challenges that you have to overcome, and maybe some of the feedback you have to hear when you do some of these things to humanize your brand and maybe shape your voice a little differently. And posting something like that, which is not at all related to credit unions or loans or checking accounts or anything like that, can maybe raise some eyebrows, and people can be like, why are we talking about this stuff? We're a credit union. But as much as that stuff happens, and we need to have a conversation with them about why we're doing that stuff. I do also recall, I don't know if it was that post in particular, but we've had it happen several times where we post some of that more casual life, human sort of content. And we've gotten some comments, and I remember one in particular where somebody actually screen snipped it, shared it on their own page, and said, "This is my credit union. How awesome is this?" And it was just a post that had nothing to do with anything. And that was one of those moments where it's oh yeah, that's why we're doing this, because people notice, they care about the difference,
Right. Yeah, and that. I don't know if we realized at that time that was the way we were creating a conversation with people. It was, and I was just being a dork.
Yeah, we were just being goofy. Yeah.
And cheers to us, that hasn't changed.
Yeah, the goofiness. So, any Any questions? Oh, we got a question.
We got a question. Everyone.
Come on
I'm
up.
so excited. Questions.
Questions, yay!
We're so excited.
Remember, uncomfortably
close to the microphone.
Like here? Closer? Hello?
Almost kiss it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right here?
Perfect.
Okay. So, I recently graduated college in May. So I'm just starting my professional career. So I was just wondering if you guys had like any advice for me, not only breaking into the credit union world, but also just like in the marketing area.
Awesome. Great question. Anyone want to go first?
I will.
You go first.
I said this this morning that marketing people are the best because we're the most fun. Always have fun. What she talked about, the cat too, just don't take ourselves too seriously. I mean, what we market feels like it's not that sexy, right? Checking, savings, loans, all that kind of stuff. What we do, the work matters, right? What we do, the work matters. And so just have fun and do good work.
Love it. I'll go. So you mentioned new to credit unions too. So I am not a credit union lifer. I went to school for graphic design and owned my own business for a little over a decade before falling into credit unions, as many of us do, right? Rising into credate unions, as many of us do. Yeah. But so I joined the Simplicity Credit Union team like 6 months after we rebranded. And it was like day 3 on the job, I think, and I got a call from another credit union that was like, hey, we just saw you guys rebranded, love the name, love the look. Who'd you hire? How much did you pay him? What was the process like? Like, ask me all these questions. And so the entrepreneurial world that I come from is print marketing, digital marketing, super competitive, cutthroat, no secrets shared ever, right? And so, I have this who I kind of perceived as a competitor, asking me all these questions about our rebrand, and I'm like, whoa, so I totally played the dumb card. I'm like, I don't know, I just started here 3 days ago. Let me talk to my boss. I'll see what I can find out, and I'll get back to you or whatever. So I call my boss up as soon as I hang up, and she's like, yeah, tell him. We're a cooperative. We're a credit union. That's what we do. We share information. And it was like mic drop moment for me. I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm here because, immediately, whatever credit union you're with, however big you are or small you are, you've got this network of people that are here to help and help you and help your members.
And you never see that in banking. Never see that in banking.
Right.
That's why I love it.
Or a lot of industries, right? It's so, I guess the advice or whatever from that is just like never forget about the cooperative difference, the credit union difference. Play that card as often as you can because it's real, even if at times the day-to-day makes it feel not real ever. So.
Yeah, I sometimes forget about that because my whole grown-up career has been in credit unions. So
you don't know anything different.
I forget there was a difference. I started in retail. I've got a face for retail, right? But I forget that there's that difference in the industry. Yeah. So my life advice for any marketer, any time somebody asks me like, what's the big marketing advice? Is you don't have to do anything unless it's the right thing to do. Because I think we get approached by people saying, oh, well, they say you have to be on TikTok now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we don't. That might be the right thing to do, but I don't have to be there. I need to find out who am I talking to. It's all the same thing. Let me just restart my presentation again. Who you have to find out who you're talking to, and you have to be where they are going to be. So anytime somebody approaches you with, oh, well, so-and-so heard this thing on the radio, and now we have to do radio. No, it might be the right thing to do, but we have to figure out if it's right.
And that's where that brand filter comes in that I talked about. That's your compass, right? If it doesn't fit that compass just because all the other kids are doing it, right? And that's where usually the board will come to you. I went to a conference and I heard all these other people are doing it. We need to do it. That's when their filter's the bottom line, the only filter. And if you compete with the same filter, you're going to lose.
What if all the cool kids are doing it? Does that make a difference?
How cool are they, though?
Like cool like us.
Wow.
Then you should.
Then you R&D it, rip off and duplicate. Yes.
There you go. Nice.
Totally.
Any other questions?
Oh, we have another one. She got it started.
Come
Yeah,
on,
So
I
good.
know.
All right, so a little less technical, but fun. So for your brand, for your filter, and maybe personally, if you could have one song play every time you step foot into a room, what would it be?
Oh, God, I love it.
And this, maybe you have to think.
Well, I actually got to speak at this big conference in Las Vegas. Can't remember what it's called. It's Credit Union One. It's a bunch of volunteers. Anyways, like 4,000 people. And they actually called and said, "What's your walk-on music?" I had to Google that, by the way, like walk-on music. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I get a song. So I gave it a lot of thought. But here's what, when you do a walk-on song, it can't really be your favorite song because it might have too long of an intro. You're maybe going to get 10, 15 seconds. So it's got to be a song that just starts out like boom. So my walk-on music, every time I hear this song too, I love it. Led Zeppelin's Kashmir.
Nice. Good one.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And when it's on a really good, it was so badass.
Yeah.
It was so awesome.
Love it. Love it.
You got one?
The first thing that came to mind, and that's all you're getting because I'm not thinking beyond this, is this is so bad. The first song that came to mind for me was "Brick House" by the Contours.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah. Nice.
I love that song so much.
That's a good
great
one.
song.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Mine, speaking of walking into a boom, "Kickstart My Heart," Motley Crue, that big
Yeah.
guitar block right there.
Motorcycle and everything.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Love it.
That's a great question, by the way. I like it. So what would be the theme song for your brand? That's a good question.
When we, I don't know why you just gestured to
Because
me,
I think we're thinking the
but
same
I
thing
love
right now.
you for it.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was, I think when we were building the brand, he was basically like a Jack Johnson fan. It was that he had like this very groovy vibe. But what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say when we developed our background audio for our commercial and our jingle, one of the first projects like that we did. Do you remember the song that we used as our inspiration?
Yeah. Oh, what was his name?
Milky Chance?
Yes.
I love that
yes.
song. I know it's got that real kind of. Oh, I love that song.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
that's good.
Right?
Yeah.
That's like totally his.
It's kind of an
that's totally
obscure
Mad
song.
Men's
But
walking
that's
song.
all in the same, like that's the same playlist.
Yeah,
Okay.
That, a little bit of Jack Johnson.
Right.
yeah, that's pretty
And
good.
maybe like, and then there's some Britney, just because he's chill like that.
Because she's Britney, bitch. That's why. Come on.
Okay, so since we're talking about music, I like to ask this question of people. What was the first concert you ever went to?
The first concert I ever went to was Reba McEntire at the Central Wisconsin State Fair. And I realized 2 years ago when we had a garage sale, I accidentally sold my autographed album. I know.
Wow. And someone went home and went, what?
Right.
And framed it or sold it on eBay.
Probably.
Yeah.
They probably sold it on eBay. That's what hurts.
How about you?
Mine was 2001. The openers were Deftones, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, with Metallica as the main show.
Holy cow.
Rocker.
It was awesome.
Holy
It
cow.
was awesome.
He looks like a nice boy.
I listened to
Yeah.
all of it. I listened to all of
Is he
it.
a tough
Bad
guy?
guy.
I listened to
Okay.
everything.
Mine was, it was a date, okay? And the guy's name was actually Roy Rogers, and he drove a brown Pinto. Okay, so let's set the stage.
Love it. Got a picture.
But he had tickets, and it was a date. So I don't have to pay, right? But it was one hit wonder, Wild Cherry, play that funky music, my boy.
Fantastic. No notes.
Yep.
No notes at all.
They played the song 3 times because they didn't have that many.
Stop it.
And it was back when there was festival seating. You probably don't remember this, but it's illegal now because people died. But you had to queue up, right? And so you had to get there early. And we pushed our way to the front. And I got to touch the lead singer's hand and everything. And one date with Roy, by the way. One date with Roy. Because
Roy was not the guy.
he was creepy.
Roy was not
Yeah.
the one.
No, yeah, he was creepy. I think
Sorry, Roy.
I got out of the car before it stopped. Wow. Actually.
I hope that you said, I'm jumping off trigger. I'm gone, trigger.
Tuck and roll.
Poor Roy.
I know.
Let's look him up, you guys.
I know. He's probably a millionaire. He
Everybody's
owns-
Facebook stalking right now. Last call for questions. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we know that marketing, the job never stops. We've mentioned that a couple times today. And I think we've alluded to this, but what do you guys do to kind of implement fun in your day or like take breaks as a team, or how does that process kind of work for you guys? Because it it's important.
Yeah, awesome.
Good question.
We've got a couple examples on our team, so I'll steal one and maybe you can think of at least one of the others. So we do something that I think literally in our calendars is called bi-weekly fun time. So every 2 weeks we set aside at least 30 minutes where we do something. Just sometimes we bring in the iPad or computer and we play a Jackbox game, or we do trivia or table topics, a little game with cards, and you just start conversations. We'll go get coffee. About a month ago, we did an hour and we went and did a behind the scenes tour of our local zoo, which one of our teammates is really active on the board and everything. So we got to like feed Kodiak bears and stuff. It was awesome. So just like, I think putting it in your calendar, doing it, like that's just crucial and we love it.
We're so fun that we have to schedule it.
Right.
Just to give you an idea.
That's cool.
How much fun. One of my favorite things that and I don't know how we've evolved into being these people, but we have really turned into arts and crafts people in a very weird and unhinged way. We did a series for TikTok that was connected to a blog about being prepared for inclement weather. And, serious blog, just information, what people can do to be ready for inclement weather because it's Wisconsin and, and we're in like a nice tornado area. And then we knew we wanted to do TikTok videos, and they turned into videos where we made people out of popsicle sticks. It was just the most fun and unhinged looking thing.
So were they running from the tornado?
Yes,
heck yeah.
And that is exactly how they ran too. And there were dogs and cats, and we had a popsicle stick in a wheelchair. It was inclusive. And that sort of became like arts and crafts time. So we did that one. We did it. We do a yearly planning, and we did an activity with, and it is, when I say arts and crafts time, don't think, but they're marketers and they do digital and everything and it's probably very fancy. It is glue sticks and it is paper and it is craziness. And we made hand puppets one time. That's one of my favorite things that we do. It's cool. Because it's tactile. Right. And it's stupid. Yeah. It's also stupid.
So I have to brag about Zest where I work now. 120 employees and half work remote. So People Ops has done the most amazing job of keeping, because I'm a remote worker. So at home, I've got a dog and all kinds of happiness, my home. But you don't really feel like you're part of the culture. If you're in Burbank, where we're headquartered, and I get to go back there, they get manis, petties, it's dog friendly. They bring in lunch. I mean, it's just really, really cool. So the remote people, they're always trying to find ways like to engage us. We get Grubhub gift cards all the time and special things and special little gifts, but they'll have a week or monthly lunch bite, they call it. And have you guys ever played the Cahoots game? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we do these hilarious, and there's cash and prizes and people are super competitive. And it's a big company, but they just do the most amazing job. People Ops, shout out to People Ops at Zest AI. They do the most amazing job of making everyone have fun and feel like part of the Zest family. They go out of their way to do it. It's really difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For a remote team, that's especially impressive. That's really cool.
I love working here.
Well, this has flown by. We've got people that have to drive home, so we want to make sure we end somewhat on time. So we should probably wrap up with our Something Awesome segment. So this is where we share recommendations for things that have happened or books that we want to read, cool stuff to see, go and do and stuff. So each of us will share something, and we're putting Denise on the spot that she'll come up with something because she wasn't ready for this. But I'll kick it off, and I'll say I am like 4 days back from a whole bunch of PTO, some good time out of the office. And one thing that my family went and did was Bay Beach. Anybody here from the east side of the state? So apparently I went to Bay Beach, which is in the Green Bay area, when I was like 7 or 8 or something. I don't remember any of it, but I went, and from what my mom shared with me after I debriefed the event with her, it hasn't changed. So the tickets are a quarter. Most of the rides take one ticket to go on. There's a few big ones, like a big Ferris wheel that take a few more or whatever. I fed my whole family on like $13. So our a 7-year-old son, 1.5-year-old daughter. We just had an absolute blast for
That's
like
cool.
$30 for like a whole afternoon in Green Bay. And it was just a beautiful day, right? Bay Beach right on the bay. So just beautiful scenery and everything. So if you haven't been to Bay Beach, check it out. It was super cool.
That's cool. So I love Netflix. I'm always looking for something to binge. And I came upon a show called Fisk. Have you guys seen this? Yes, it's Australian. The woman that stars in it also wrote it. It is one of the best written shows. My husband, who usually he loved it so much, and we watched them all twice. It is the funniest. If you just want to just laugh out loud funny. It's not sitcom slapstick. It's just really good dialogue. And then when I found out that she was a writer, it made it all the more better. But it's Australian, so really cool accents. So they dropped this first episode. There's a whole nother season, but because it's Australia, they've not brought it to the US yet. But in 2024, there will, because it's one of those ones like, I want more, as soon as it's over. But Fisk, who knew? Yeah, it was just laugh out loud funny from the first 3 minutes. It was so funny.
Did you watch Fleabag?
Oh, yeah.
So similar to Fleabag?
Not raunchy.
Not raunchy.
Fleabag was really raunchy. Yeah. Fisk is very wholesome. The children can be in the room for Fisk. Yeah. But it's this divorced attorney, and she's just got this, it's hard to describe, but the dialogue is really smart, funny, and unexpected. And that's what makes you laugh, is like, oh my God, that's so funny.
Awesome.
Nice. I'm going to check that out.
But I did love Fleabag. Yeah, it was so good.
So good. Watch Fleabag too. That's not my recommendation.
It's raunchy.
But it is a recommendation, and it is raunchy. Especially the hot priest, which is the best part. Anyway, that is not my recommendation. As long as we're talking about humanizing your brand, I want to talk about the absolute ultimate human brand. And my recommendation to go and see the Barbie movie. Who's seen it?
Yeah.
Woo!
Half the room.
I heard it's really good.
It is. This is not an endorsement from our organization, but I thought it was smart. I thought it was very well done. It was poignant. It was. I don't normally laugh out loud in a movie. I laughed out loud.
Yeah, and which feels good, doesn't it?
Right.
We need to laugh.
Right.
Yeah.
I felt like as a late stage feminist, I felt good about the feminist undertones there. I loved everything about it, and I'm not going to be able to stop referring to Ben as Ken. I can't. It is.
I can see that. He's just Ken doll.
I told you guys this when we started out. He is Ken, and his job is Beach.
I can dig it.
Yeah, it was so good.
Take
and
it.
Not normally what we do when we have our recommendations, we include a link to them. I'm not including a link because I encourage everyone to go on Google and just Google the Barbie movie and see what it does, because it's fantastic.
Nice.
Ooh.
Because why not? And with that, it's time to wrap up. Friends, it was awesome having you here. Yes, please. More. I'm just going to play that for myself when I'm feeling like I need a pump up.
I like it.
Yeah. Thank you to our listeners, and thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Denise, for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
This is your reminder. You can always catch us on your favorite podcast app. So everybody who's leaving this conference and you have to drive home, if you have a long drive, we have, I don't know how many, this is our 16th episode this year.
Right.
But I don't know how many more. We have lots of episodes you could listen to on the way back. Awesomeology is the name of the podcast. You can catch us on your favorite app, and you can also see all of our podcasts on our blog at exclamationqso.com/blog. Ta-da.
You got it. Thank you, friends, for tuning in. Be awesome, and see you next time.
One more applause.
The Awesomeology Podcast is a production of Exclamation Services. Thanks to Nick Mulliver for sound production and Kylie Ganther for our cover artwork.
Executive producers are me, Ben Bauer, and my friend Suzanne Campbell.